So many of you want to know how I manage a business, a 9-to-5 job, my YouTube channel, how I'm an investor, and to top it all off, how I'm a type 1 diabetic, managing all these different things in my life. And you're probably not going to like the answer. This is why. Well, first, it's not because of a book I read. It's not an audio. All of that is great, yes. Woohoo for personal development, but hey, that's not going to get you from point A to point B. I think a lot of the time people think I need to read this certain book, I need to listen to this certain audio for me to excel. Yes, it is important to invest in yourself education-wise. However, that's not going to get you from point A to point B. I am not an excuse maker, so I have the best excuse, and it's diabetes. I can literally use that as an excuse to either not succeed, but I use it as a reason to succeed and to do all these things. Diabetes is a full-time job itself. I don't know if anyone can relate. The first thing I do in the morning is check my blood sugar, and right before I go to sleep, I'm checking my blood sugar. So I'm literally starting and ending my day with diabetes, and that could be draining. So back to the question, how do I manage it all? So first things first is prioritize. What are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing your health? That should be number one. However, it is real. Like, burnout is real, not only because I have diabetes, but this can also apply to also your physical and mental health too, where your health should be number one above all. Next, I prioritize my 9-to-5. Why? Because that pays the bills, that's my health insurance, and I am so grateful for my job. Then it's my business. So my fiance, Angelo, and I, we definitely have similar goals, and one of our goals was to own a business. We've tried so many things in our lives. We've tried drop shipping, we've done network marketing, we've tried, selling things online and all these different things. So when it came to us wanting to own a business, there was a lot to think about. It was time and it was money. We finally thought of the greatest idea. Why don't we do an online business? Like technology, the 21st century, everything is really starting to skyrocket. So that's when we came up with our business idea. So with our business, we typically maybe spend 10 hours a week on it, and really that's not bad. So we typically focus on marketing. So we do a lot on social media for our business. This way it definitely, gets the name out there, where nowadays people aren't buying billboards with their names on it, or even business cards. I feel like that is so outdated nowadays, where everything is just online and all based on reviews. And again, that is not something I'm going to get into in this video, but you kind of get the idea. So I'm also an investor. And what's great about being an investor is it really doesn't take up any of your time. Initially, yes, it did when it came to real estate, just because, this was my first rental property that I did buy, working with the lender, the notary, really putting time aside for that. But other than that, that's it. No joke, sometimes I forget I own a house. It is insane. And also too, with our investment, again, this is a remote real estate investment where it's amazing how we're able to manage this from another state. So right now, our rental property is in more of a landlord-friendly state. And again, that's not something I'll get into this video, and definitely something for next time. But yeah, so I'm managing all these different things in my life: diabetes, a business, and my investments, and of course, working a job. And what it comes down to is making sure that you have enough time for yourself. And what I mean by that is you definitely don't want to burn yourself out. You definitely don't want to stretch yourself thin either. I think it's so important. Yes, I believe, working hard to get what you want in life. However, what is all this hard work for? You don't want to work hard to then keep on working hard, to keep on working hard. No, what is the result? And for me, the result is, okay, great. I have this extra money aside where I can do something nice for my family. I can hang out with my friends, and I have all different hobbies. I love to read. I love Zumba. I just actually started getting into Zumba, and it is so much fun, and I highly recommend it. It's also a great workout too. If you really think about it, isn't that what life's all about? Enjoying all the things you love. Yes, work is great, but why are we working? To enjoy the things we love. And I think it's so important to make sure you prioritize time for that. Like, I think a lot of the times we think we have to hustle, grind it out, put your head down, do this and that. Yes, that is true to an extent, where I think a lot of the times it's just really hyped up just so you could buy this book, you could get this audio, all that kind of stuff. Again, I have no background in real estate. I have very minimal background in business. Again, this is just more so me, like trial and error with my fiance, where I didn't go to business school. And there's so many great resources online to get started, such as YouTube, such as this platform. I can't tell you how much I've learned on YouTube alone. I think it's so important if you are on this journey of, starting a business, getting into real estate, even taking care of yourself, as for me, it's a type 1 diabetic, is really having that support system. And I can't emphasize enough how Angelo and I, we are just on the same page with everything. It's actually really crazy. We went to this party the other day, and literally this, a friend of Angelo's was like, wow, like you guys are on the same page. Like if you literally have a conversation with us, it's like we just have like the same beliefs, we have the same goals, and we also check in on each other too. Like let's say hypothetically one of us had a really long day, really not feeling up to the business, maybe not feeling up to taking phone calls. Like, okay, that's fine. Again, we're human, like that is okay. Like I think a lot of the times too, like we're taught like you can't take a break, no naps, no this, no that, grind it out, do what you have to do, run this business, all these crazy things in life, where it's like, no, like it's okay to take a step back too, as in like relax. Again, like a business isn't going to work itself. Real estate just doesn't all, work itself. Yes, it is passive income, but that is still your property and it is something you still have to manage. However, like it's also too realizing you are human and you do have needs such as self-care and really taking care of yourself in those ways. So, we all have 24 hours in a day, and it's really up to you with what you want to do with that time. Again, for me, we both work 9-to-5 jobs, Angelo and myself, so that is always our priority over everything, is our jobs and making sure, we're excelling and doing the best we could in our careers. But then after that, it's like, great. We have the weekends and we have, the evening. So there's always different ways out there to make money, and that's like what we enjoy doing together is, both of us are very creative and we like to explore and try different things. And I also forgot to add creating content. Like that takes time. Like it takes time to, set up the room for creating content. It takes time to record and then edit the material, and then you're posting it. And then I also like to market it as well. So that also takes time. So again, a lot of things take time, but it's doable. And there's really no excuse out there to not do it. And again, I really want to emphasize, it's not because of a book, it's not because of this audio. Again, like all that stuff is great, yes, but it's not going to get you there. Like it's not like this overcomplicated, like this thing. Like it's just doing it. It's just doing your research. Great. How can I get started? If you want to do research, literally type in, how can I get started doing XYZ? It's not like, oh, how can I, personally grow or like anything like that. It's no, like, how do I just get started? Great. And you just do it. Like neither of us, like my father, he owned a small business. So I was able to see from him a lot of like his experience, and running a small business is not easy as well, where it's also basically another job. You're self-employed, where you're employed by yourself. And, it takes a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot of customer service. It does take time. However, it really depends on the business. Like for my father, he did seal coating. So again, he's a blue collar worker. So he traded a lot of his time, to do all that kind of stuff. Where for Angelo and I, like we didn't have the time. Like we couldn't just open up a store. That takes a lot of money to like rent all of that and then to hire the employees and all that kind of stuff, where we were thinking like, what can we do on the side? Like what can be our side hustle? And let's just take advantage of the technology we have nowadays. And that's what we did. And it's great because, between the two of us, it's again, like it takes like 10 hours a week. Again, we're marketing, making a couple of calls, we're also doing cold calls. So it's also, getting out your comfort zone and really being okay with getting out of your comfort zone too. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I can't do this unless I go to school, or I can't do this because I need more experience in this, where that's like, no, like, it's okay if you don't have experience in something and you're learning, because everyone starts off that way. Like, nobody starts off with a bunch of experience when they either start a career or a business. No, you learn. Like, I went to cosmetology school, and yes, school was great. And, you know, I passed all my state boards and all that kind of stuff. However, I learned the most in cosmetology was being on the floor and being at a salon, where in school, it taught me how to pass a test. Whereas, you know, being at the salon, that's where I learned. I learned from a lot of mistakes. Your goal should be to make a mistake, so then this way you learn. And that's the same thing with like diabetes. Like, I can bring it back to diabetes, where like I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 18 months old, and even to this day, I'm learning so much, and like, it's making those little mistakes of like, maybe I didn't carb count correctly for a certain meal, where, okay, now I know when I eat this, like, I have to make sure I pre-bolus and do all that kind of stuff. Same thing with business, where like, the cleaning industry, like, Angela and I have no background in that besides like cleaning our own home, but like, other than that, like, we have no background in that. But it's just going out there and trying. And this is going to sound so cliche, like, I already know it, but I'm gonna say it, is just believe in yourself. Like, again, I know that's so cliche, but it's true. Like, just knowing that you can do it. Because like, who's stopping you? Like, not to get deep or anything, but like, you have one life, and you don't want to go around life thinking like, having all these regrets of like, not trying this, not learning this new hobby, really not giving it your all. Again, me and Angela, we're both the type of people where we like to give it our all, whether it's in our career, whether it's in our business, whether it's investing, anything like that, because that is for me like my reputation. Where like, you know, like, I like to keep the reputation of, you know, being someone who does the best they could. Like, I do not consider myself lazy whatsoever. Same thing with Angelo too. Again, when I use the word lazy, like, it's okay to watch TV, like, it's okay to play video games, like, it's okay to do all those things as hobbies, like, that's fine. But like, I don't prioritize those kind of things, if that makes sense. Where for me, again, my priorities, as listed before, are my health, my job, you know, my business now, you know, family, friends, spending time with them, and really just doing the things you love. So yeah, like, I could say like I manage it all, but really when it comes down to it, it's not as complicated as it seems. Honestly, it's just really taking advantage of the technology out there. Like, I use the calendar on my phone. I have an iPhone, and I absolutely like love the calendar on it. Like, here we go, Saturday the 15th. My dog has a appointment. Like, I put everything on there just because I find that so helpful. I'm someone who works by checklists. Like, I love checklists, where I literally have, you know, a checklist, like, I need to complete this by the end of the week. And just something about crossing off something on a checklist is like such great relief. So I always recommend checklists, planners. I'm into all that kind of stuff. Sometimes when I need to feel like I need to be motivated, like, I'll just go into Staples, look around, and like get a notebook and pens and all that kind of stuff, because I absolutely love that kind of stuff. So yeah, the biggest thing I want you to take from this video is that, honestly, like, I don't have a college degree. That's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Where, you know, for me, college, you know, is not for everyone. Maybe I could save that for a different video. But it's knowing, like, whatever your circumstances are, like, if you want to do something, you can do it. And again, you don't need to spend, you know, thousands of dollars into books and audios and all that kind of stuff. It's really just getting started and taking that first step, which is getting started. If anyone has any questions, definitely write them below. I'm so happy to answer any of your questions. Again, I absolutely love this platform. Really, as a learning tool as well, because I've gotten so much from YouTube, where I just want to pass along the knowledge I've learned from here, and then also what I've learned in my experiences, because honestly, I have so much to share, where I'm like, okay, it's time to create a YouTube channel and just kind of get it all out there in the world. If this is your first time here, definitely consider subscribing below, clicking that like button, and thank you all for watching.